This is Tom Colley for ThroughTheRopes Boxing. It's an absolute pleasure to be joined today with WBC Silver light heavyweight champion Willy Hutchinson. Willy, appreciate you taking the time to come on and speak to me, mate. How's things?
Yes, no problem. Everything's good, everything's good. Camp's going good. Only a couple of weeks now, 17 days. I'm counting down the days until I'm back in that ring and putting on please God, putting on the biggest performance coming from me.
How does it? I mean, you're obviously 3 weeks out from such a massive fight. We know you made such a big statement on the last card, Saudi card, and that's opportunity. What do you do? I mean, 3 weeks out for people that don't know, for a fighter this close to such a big fight, are you still training hard at this point?
No, the hard. To be honest with you, all the hard training's all done now. To be honest with you, it's just more tapering up and finishing a bit of sparring and that's it really. There's only another, if there's 17 days left, there's only another 10 days of really training. And the training now, if the hard work's not done now, you've left it too late. You know what I mean? I've been in camp when the day I fight, I've been in camp over 11 weeks. So all the hard training's done, all the hard stuff's done. It's now just tapering up, resting enough, and I'm ready to rock and roll.
How's camp been, Will? Is it gone well?
It's went well. Listen, it's went well. I've done what I've had to do, and most importantly for me is I'm happy. So that's for me, that's the most important part of all of it. So I'm very happy, and camps went the way I wanted it. Do you know what I mean?
Last time out, Craig Richards fight, Saudi card, massive stage. You were an underdog for that fight, probably the biggest fight of your career at that point. I mean, how did it feel going into that fight as the underdog? You put on such a great performance. Were you always confident that you would do that?
Listen, the same confidence in that fight and I've got the same confidence in this fight. 100%. Listen, I couldn't really care if I was favourite, not favourite. I don't really look into any of that there. I just know what I can do, and I believe myself that much that I should, you know what I mean? Smash this man to pieces on 21st September. And I said that about the last one. I'm going to say it about this one. They are good men and very big, good, durable men. But that's all they are. And they're just not good enough.
Beating Craig Richards obviously opened the door to this fight. This is the interim world title fight with Joshua Buatsi. We know that winning that would open up massive doors, but of course, you know, not to be overlooked at all. Massive task ahead in Joshua Buatsi. He comes with a big reputation. Do you see this as another step up again from the Craig Richards fight?
Man, not really a step up, to be honest with you. I think he's very, very on the same lines as Craig Richards. I don't believe he's as much as a step up. It's very, very similar in very, very many ways. You know what I mean? But Craig Richards, for me, as a style, is probably a harder fight than it is with Buatsi, because with Craig Richards, at least he was tall and dangly. You know what I mean? And sometimes he didn't really know what he was even doing. Where my man, he's not really like that there. You know what I mean? This should be an easier fight than a Craig Richards fight.
We've seen that it's been quite a fiery build-up between you and Josh. Is it genuine bad blood between you both, or?
To be honest with you, it's all a load of rubbish, innit? Well, as soon as the two of us is in the middle of the ring, you can say and do and whatever you want to do, but until the two of us in that ring, we'll see. We'll see who's the daddy. We will see.
Do you have much history with Josh? You obviously had a fantastic amateur career as he did, and both around a similar age.
You know what makes me laugh is everyone thinks he had a fantastic amateur career, but the only thing he ever done as an amateur was win an Olympic bronze medal. The same year he won an Olympic bronze medal, I become amateur world champion. Only now 5 people from Britain is ever done in history of boxing. I'm the first ever from a country of Scotland to ever do it. And that means that's a meaning to an end. I'm just saying, because everyone keeps saying how amateur he was, and that's not the only thing he ever did do was win an Olympic bronze medal. So I think he's very, very overrated, if I would say. And I'm going to show that on the 21st September. I'm going to put him in his spot, and I'm ready to conquer the world.
Did your paths cross much as amateurs or in the pro days?
No, he was older than me. He's 32 and I just turned 26 a few weeks ago. You know what I mean? So he was 6-7 years older than me. So we never ever met, and we turned professional at the same time. 2017. Sure, he was 2017 as well.
This fight is obviously on the undercard of Joshua Daniel Dubois. It's a stacked card. It's going to be a packed out Wembley Stadium. Josh is a Londoner. Does that add to the pressure at all for you fighting in such a huge arena?
To be honest with you, there's no pressure on me because it doesn't make any difference. You see, when two men get into the middle of the ring and have a fight, the crowds or this, that, and everything, it doesn't make any. Some people, it gets to them. You know what I mean? And stuff like that, but I don't really take heed of it. I've got to go in there, get the job done, and go home, and have some nice time with my family. And yeah.
The interim world title, does that mean something to you? Does that add something to it for you, Willie?
Yes, of course it does. Listen, it's another belt. It's another step closer to greatness for me, and it'll be an honor, and I'll be very grateful to be winning that belt. And yeah, listen, of course it is. It's a blessing from God, isn't it? It's a blessing from God, and I'm grateful for everything, man.
What are you expecting from Josh? Are you expecting this to be a cagey affair? Do you think he's going to come and meet fire with you?
I think whatever that man physically meant or whatever he does, he's just not good enough to beat me. You know what I mean? I think whatever floats his boat will never ever be good enough to beat me.
It feels like now, Willie, your career is really sort of picking up steam. How much of an influence is going on with Frank Warren? Has that been for you in terms of opening up these doors of Craig Richards' fight, now this fight, and all of a sudden you're knocking on the door for a world title?
That's it. Listen, I leave that to my team. Do you know what I mean? Frank put me on the platform, and he's seen what I've done in my last fight, and here I am going again. And I'll step up to the plate again, and we'll go until my career's done.
No, absolutely. You're 3 weeks out from a massive fight, so you're never going to overlook anyone. But if you do beat Josh Buatsi, what does it look like? You know, what does the sort of the setting look like from there? You got one eye on Bivol and Beterbiev.
When I beat Buatsi, the world will be my oyster, and I'll leave it to my team. And whatever they think's best for me, I'll do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. So just moving on, the two reigning champions in the division. The fight's been made for the undisputed, Willie, and be wrong of me to have you on here and being in that division, knocking on the door, not ask. How do you see that fight playing out between two monsters?
I think Bivol beat him only because of the age of Beterbiev, and I've seen that he had an injury, and it starts getting to you, man. But mind you, I fought this last time, and he just pulled it out of the bag, didn't he, that fella? He just punches it. He just can punch. But I think Bivol's that bit. Well, when you say that bit pressure, Bivol's 34. Do you know what I mean? These are not. There's no kids, is there? They're not young men at 27, 28. They're 34-year-old and 40-year-old. They're not young either.
Another man in your division. He's obviously had a few fights in yourself and Josh, but big name Ben Whittaker coming through. What do you make of him, his style, and do you see him as a threat coming up behind you?
If you want to know the truth, I think he would be better going to the Misfits boxing, and being a part of that. I think than professional boxing. I think he's listen. He's doing well, and he's up and coming, and he's doing what he's got to do. Do you know what I mean? So. Just leave him to it. Is he a threat? Not to me, maybe to the rest of them, but I couldn't really care less about him either.
You think his fight with Eubank talked about I shouldn't say fight hasn't been made, but it's been talked about with Eubank Jr. What do you make of that? He's a middleweight, Eubank.
Eubank's 34, 35-year-old as well, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? He's maybe older than that. He's listen, you never know, do you? Money talks, doesn't it? money talks. It could happen. It could happen.
The main event, Daniel Dubois, Anthony Joshua, both sort of come on their own sort of resurgence in recent times. Both on hot streak. Really exciting fight. Hence, obviously, they're talking about 100,000 at Wembley Stadium. How do you see it? How do you see it going, Willie?
To be honest with you, I'm just focused on my own fight. To be honest, that fight, all the best to the two men. I hope they go there and make a night that will be remembered for forever. Do you know what I mean? But I'm too busy in my own fight than thinking of anyone else's. Do you know what I mean?
Of course, absolutely. I'm sure you're
It's just like that, man. It's just like that.
I can tell from speaking to you, you're almost ready to fight now. Even
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ready. I'm just taming the tiger, taming the lion, and then when the time's to get out the cage.
Is there anything you want to add before we wrap it up for anyone that's going to tune in all around the world watching you take on Joshua?
You know what it is? I would like to thank my sponsor, Leap Pro, Stan the Man, a good sponsor, Lannick Boxing Club and Lannick Country Carpets. They're my sponsors, and just all the people that's following me and believes in me. Do you know what I mean? But if you don't believe me now, you're gonna believe me on the 21st of September, buddy.
Willie, look, it's been great chatting to you, and I wish you all the best in your fight with Josh. I'm looking forward to tuning in and watching it. And best of luck, mate.
Muchas gracias.